Welcome back to the Learn to Love You show. My name is Renita Hills, and I am your host for the evening. I am also the founder and CEO of Voice of the Victim. Voice of the Victim is an organization that works with victims and survivors of domestic abuse, abusive behaviors, and sexual assault. Our goal, our endeavor, our desire, and our end game is to help those who have endured those types of traumas and tragedies, help them to transition from being a victim to survivor, ultimately a thriver in spite of the abuse they've endured. This show is to help us to grow up to be better us. Yes, us. We all are in a place where we have to learn and we're still growing. And I want us to be the best persons that we can be. This week, let me start out with saying, well, Happy New Year, everybody. It is 2022. I'm excited about this year. So many wonderful things are going to open up and develop this year. Last year was a struggle. Last year was hard. Last year, each and every one of us had to endure something that we don't ever want to endure ever, ever, ever again. But look at those things and count them as seeds that were being planted. And someone else once said, the seeds that were planted and the tears you cried watered those seeds. So 2022 are going to be the product of the wonderful things that are due in your life and in mine. Now, we're not going to do New Year's resolutions. That went out so many thousands of years ago. New Year's resolutions, you make promises that I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to work out, I'm going to eat better. And that lasts, at least for me, about 2, 3 weeks. Because then that cheeseburger will hit me in my face and I want to see them cheeseburger and some fries with the bacon on top. And okay, I'm getting hungry. Let me start talking about that. We're not going to do New Year's resolutions. We're not going to make promises that we're not going to keep. We're going to make goals. Then we went to the vision board parties. Those were wonderful. I went to a couple of them where it was just absolutely fabulous. You had an opportunity to intermingle and have relations and talk and share and laugh and just have a good time cutting up magazines and pasting them to the board with your ideas and your thoughts. Those were really, really great times. I totally enjoyed those. But then the pandemic hit, which made it a little more challenging for us to come together and take those ideas and put it on poster board and to talk and share with each other. It made it a little more difficult, but thank God for technology. That made it a little bit easier for us to do it, although it still brought a little separation for us. And then there are some of us who are not tech savvy. Raise your hand, Renita, because I am one of them. So not tech savvy. I thank God I have children who don't mind me calling and say, "How you do that?" And they come and do it for me. You are not alone if you have problems doing stuff on your phone or on your computer or anything that's technologically endeavoring. So I had an idea. I had an epiphany. You can do a vision board all by yourself. Because at the end of the day, who has to fulfill that vision board? We do, all by ourselves. So I'm going to do my vision board. And it's not, and you don't even have to use the big poster board. You don't have to cut out any magazines. You don't have to do anything special. All you need is a blank piece of paper and a pen. That's it. That's it. The goal of vision boards is to get that thought out of your head and put it on paper to help remind you of what you want to accomplish for the year. Now, we're not going to do the whole year. That's a whole lot. Let's do it for the month. My goal for 2022 is each month write down on my vision paper, because it's not a whole board, my vision paper, what I want to accomplish for the month of January. And I'm going to do mine with you. Okay? So this is one of my goals. And I am not an artist. My son is such a wonderful artist. He does great designs. He designs shirts, he designs shoes, he does billboards, he does posters, he's an artist. He did not get that from me. He got that from his father's side of the family, and I'm okay with that. So, what we're going to do with my terrible artistic skills, because it's about me and it's for me, One of the goals I want to do is I want to make sure that I put money aside out of every paycheck. The first thing you should do when you get paid is pay yourself. There's nothing as nerve wracking as getting your paycheck, and before you even cash it, before you even hit that button on your phone to see what your balance in your account is, it's already spent and you haven't put anything aside for yourself. You work hard for your money, very hard. You put at least 30 hours a week working for that little bit of money, and you're not going to give anything for yourself. I challenge you, even if it's something as small as $5 out of each paycheck, put it aside just for you. I promise you, if you can consistently do that, at the end of 2, 3, 6 months, you'll see a great, great big amount of money there that's going to make you feel encouraged to pay yourself even more. So my goal is simply to put $10 per paycheck, and it doesn't even have to be in a banking account. What I do is find some place to stick it somewhere real quiet, because if you put it in your savings account and you see it, chances are you're going to spend it. So if another challenge you can do for yourself is go find another bank. If you bank at Bank A, I'm not going to call no banks out because I'm not supporting any banks at one time. If you go to Bank A and that's where you put most of your money, go to Bank B and open up a savings account that's strictly for saving that money that you're paying yourself. If you don't see it, you won't spend it. So my goal is to put $10 per paycheck into a savings account. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it yet, but for the next month, I'm going to put it in a savings account and I'm going to see what happens to it. My second goal is I'm not going to say I'm going to go to the gym every day because I'd be lying to myself and to you. I'm going to at least work out twice a week. I'm not going out to the house. I'm going to do it right there in my house. I went to Five and Below and I got these little dice. And on each side of the dice, it gives you an exercise to do. I throw the dice down. It says do 10 push-ups. I do 10 push-ups. My goal is to throw the dice 3 times, and each one of it's everything that it told me to do for that time. That's what I do. That's starting very, very small, very, very easy. And actually, it's kind of fun because I'm looking at the dice and come on now, say water break. Say, oh, you didn't say water break. I got to go do 10 sit-ups. Bam, I go do my 10 sit-ups. Then the next one is do mountain climb. Something very, very simple. Start small. I just finished telling somebody just right before the show, the best way and the easiest way to eat an elephant is with small bites. Well, they didn't like that terminology, so I'm gonna go another route. The best way and the easiest way to go 1,000 miles is one step at a time. Just one step at a time. So for me, $10 per paycheck. 2 days a week, I'm going to do the dice workout. And let me see, what else should I do? What else? What do I need to work on me about? Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I am going to actually sit down, not listen to a book. I'm going to open up a book and read it. I have so many books that I have been endeavoring to read, but I've gotten lazy and I started listening. There's something about touching the paper and turning the pages that makes you sit there and actually take time for yourself. That's me. That's what I'm going to call me time. So I decided that I was going to take about 30 minutes a day, and it doesn't have to be 30 straight minutes. Actually, what I do is on my breaks at work, I'll take 10 minutes and I'll read it for 10 minutes. Then at lunchtime, I have an hour for lunch. I take 30 minutes to read during my lunch. And then I take another 10 minutes on my next break. That's getting a little bit more than the 30 minutes I promised myself. You can find out what that's good for you, what's good for you. For me, I wanted to read 30 minutes a day. That's me time. That's time that's just for me. And if I decide not to read for that day, I'm going to do something else that's all about me. It might turn out to be a bubble bath. It might turn out that I'm going to turn all the lights out in the room and I'm going to sit in quiet and I'm just going to meditate on myself, on what I want to do for myself. If you don't take time to love on and take care of you, who do you think will? If you don't love you, why would anybody else love you? And I don't mean that to be derogatory or to put you down. I just want you to look in that mirror and like the person that you see by accomplishing small things at a time. Now, I wrote this out, horrible handwriting. So I'm going to do it another way. This way, I'm going to put a big old dollar sign for the money I'm going to put aside for myself. And then for the dice workout, I'm going to try and draw a muscle person. Oh, Lord, this looks horrible, y'all. Don't laugh at me. Do not laugh at my horrible drawing. It's okay because I know what I'm trying to draw. And I'm going to draw a book. I'm going to read for 30 minutes. Those are just three of the things I would like to do for myself. Now, don't laugh at my drawing now. I told you I'm not the artist. You can write it out with my horrible handwriting, or you can actually draw it out. And my head is much bigger than this. I told you I'm a horrible artist. My book looked pretty good though, don't it? Does my book look pretty good? But I want you to do something like this for yourself. What I'm going to do is take this and I put it somewhere in my room where when I wake up in the morning, I'll see it and remind myself, save some money for yourself. Read the book. Hey, this is day one. Let's get out there and throw those dice and get that time in with working out. Physical fitness is so important to relieve stress. And somebody once told me, and let me make sure I say it right, because I know she's going to listen to it. Summer bodies are built in the winter. You can't go out there thinking you're going to wear a bikini and you're going to eat cheeseburgers and hot dogs and french fries, like I just said, all winter long. You got to work on those summer bodies. And it's not for the bikinis and not for the Speedos. It's really so you'll have a healthier life. So you'll be able to walk the beach, walk the streets, go out and enjoy the summer without worrying about overexerting yourself and sweating and not being able to breathe when the summer heat. You want to enjoy the summer. So build those summer bodies in the winter. Go ahead and save the money during the winter so you can enjoy and go to the beach, go on a cruise, do something for yourself in the summer months. Read about different places and things that you can do for the summer. See how I'm tying all these things in, and it all ends up with doing something that you love for you for the summer months, for you, for a healthier life, for you to enrich who you are and who God created you to be. You are fearfully and wonderfully made by the hands of God. Don't take that for granted. Each day is a blessing and it's a gift. Utilize it to the fullest and for the purpose of your destiny and what God created you to be. That's going to be it for tonight. I thank you so much for joining us. And remember, through it all and with it all, beneath your skin and behind your eyes is a beautiful you. Learn to love you. Good night. See you next time.